The biology of metaphors and analog computing. The idea of the mind as entirely embodied has profound implications for philosophical concepts of human reason, which Fritjof Capra summarizes as follows. When cognitive scientists say that the mind is embodied, they mean far more than the obvious fact that we need a brain in order to think. Cognitive linguistics indicates strongly that human reason does not transcend the body, as much of Western philosophy has held, but is shaped, crucially, by our physical nature and our bodily experience. The very structure of reason arises from our bodies and brains. End quote. George Lakoff and Mark Johnson, in their book Philosophy in the Flesh, extended the concept of the embodied mind by focusing on the role of metaphor in our cognitive processes. They argue that metaphors make it possible to extend our basic embodied concepts into abstract theoretical domains. When we say, "I don't seem to be able to grasp this idea," we are using our bodily experience of grasping an object to reason about understanding an idea. In the same way, when we speak of a warm welcome or a close friend, we are unconsciously drawing on our experience as infants, when affection was typically felt when being closely held by our caregivers. Our thought and language contain hundreds of such primary metaphors. In our abstract thought processes, we combine these primary metaphors into more complex ones, which enable us to use rich imagery and subtle conceptual structures. Finally, another emerging area of research which undermined cognitivism was the field of computer brain simulation known as connectionism. This uses analog computers, also known as parallel processing computers, to create simulations of neuronal networks. Though in practice, the parallel processing is often generated on a digital computer. Analog computers have a number of features which are much more similar to the way neurons actually work than the simple logical gates of digital computers. Analog computers are composed of networks of units with signals free to follow many different parallel routes. Like Hebbian reinforcement in the brain, the routes that are used most, the signals become stronger and more powerful. Rather than being rigidly programmed to follow rules, as in digital computers, analog computers learn by using feedback to reinforce and weight the most effective signal pathways in their networks. This challenges cognitivism's digital view of brain functioning, in which symbols are manipulated only by the rigid rules encoded in predetermined algorithms.